everyone, welcome to Beauty First in 10. I love makeup and I love football and I post weekly about both, so there's truly something for everyone on my channel. Today, I'd like to do a makeup look that is inspired by St. Patrick's Day to get everybody all ready for next weekend. All of the products I'll be showing today are cruelty free and I will have additional options and I will put everything in the description box. So when I think about Irish colors, I think about orange and green and gold. And so those are the colors that we're going to use to inspire this look. So today I already started out by prepping my skin. So I put on, after I cleansed my face, I put on a serum. So I used the Merit Glowing Skin Serum. This stuff is great. I've talked about this in previous videos, but this stuff is great and it really gives a nice glow to the skin. So I use that. I then also use my Alpine Super Peptide Ghostberry Moisturizer. I'll put that on after the Merit serum had sunk in. And then I top that with the Lawless Forget the Filler Primer Moisturizer, and I use that actually as my primer and put that all over my face as well. It also adds a nice level of hydration, so you can see my skin has a nice glow to it right now. So we want to continue that for this look. So now that all those products have been absorbed into my skin, I'm going to use the Cali Ray Free Dreaming Blurring Skin Tint, and I have this in shade 4. However, if you don't have that, I'm also use this look with the Yummy Skin Tint. So this one also works well, or any other skin tint that also has a nice glow to it will also work. Okay, so we'll start out by applying this. So I'm just gonna put a little on the back of my hand here, and then I'm just gonna kind of work that and buff it, and we'll get this all applied and evened out on the skin. Okay, so now that we have that all over the skin, you can see it kind of maintained the glow on there. And then the other thing too to keep in mind, I did also put on before I started the video, a makeup primer on my eyes, and that's by Rare Beauty. And then I used my NYX Pro Stick concealer stick in pink, and I put that just in kind of the hollows of my eyes here, but then I put the foundation kind of everywhere else. It is a slightly darker shade for me for the winter, so I did blend that down my neck. We're gonna move on to the next step. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add some bronzer, which is gonna add some of that gold and glow to us. So for this one, I'm gonna use the Tower 28 Bronzino in West Coast. But the Charlotte Tilbury Cream Bronzer would also work really good for this. Also, Drunk Elephant makes their bronzing drops. That also works. So really anything that's gonna add that little bit of gold and a little bit of glitter to it. Okay, so I'm gonna start out and I'm gonna add this with my fingers. So I'm just gonna kind of dot this here and go all the way across. And then we're just gonna kind of pat this out. And then once we've gotten to that part, we're just gonna kind of get this in there. Okay, so now we're gonna add a little bit of bronzer right here as well. So that added a nice, healthy, kind of gold glow to the skin. So I really like how that turned out. And that was, again, with the Tower 8 Cream Bronzer in West Coast. So the next stage is to add some orange blush to this situation. So I'm gonna be using Melt Cosmetics Cream Blush Light, and this is in Sandy Cheeks. But you could also use really kind of any orange blush that you have in your collection, but you do wanna stick kind of in the cream family to kind of keep that nice glow, healthy look going. So we're gonna apply this and kind of blend it up and into that gold color. Okay, so next we're gonna move on to eyes. And you can certainly take this as dramatic and intense as you want, or you can do, kind of more of a daytime subtle look and build that intensity. For this look, I'm going to be using Essence's Dancing Green eyeshadow palette. This was $4 at Ulta. So if you're not looking to commit to a green eyeshadow palette and spend tons of money because you just want to do this look for today, then this is a great option. And I'll show you the colors inside. It's actually, it's quite nice. So you have a lot of ranges of colors here. So you've got your two greens, you've got a gold, and then kind of like more of a silver, and then you've got your base colors. So this is a good palette, but if you don't have this one, Charlotte Tilbury also makes an eyeshadow quad in Rebel that has very similar shades. Obviously, it's a lot more expensive. It's $40 or $50, but it's a really nice palette, and it has really good pigmentation to it as well. But for this one, we're going to use the Dancing Green palette. Okay, so the first color we're going to use is this one right here, and this is going to be kind of our base color to put all over, and this is in You Can Dance. And this is a nice off-white color. So I'm going to get a little up close to the camera here because I'm using the camera to apply this, which is always a little on the scary side. Okay, so you can see I added that all to kind of this main part of the lid here. So next we're gonna go in with this shade, which is Feel the Beat. And this is kind of a shimmery gold color. So we're gonna put this in the last 2/3 of the eye. So kind of right in the middle here. And then we're gonna build that up so you can see the color. And again, putting on that eyeshadow primer that I put on by Rare Beauty does allow for pigmentation in eyeshadows to be a little bit more pronounced. So I do use it often when I'm doing something that's got a little bit more of a darker color so that the pigmentation lasts when I put it on. Okay, so now in the crease, we're gonna use this one right here, and this is in Rock Music, and it's kind of a shimmery green, but you could certainly go in with this darker green color if you wanted a much more intense look, but we're gonna stick with this one, and then we'll use that one on the outer corner. So this is Rock Music. And we're just gonna window wash this across to get it to blend nicely. And we're going to pull that up a little and down a little. So you can see already that that looks very intense without us having to go to that darker color. Now, if you have darker skin, then yes, that darker color is going to be much more pronounced on you. Okay, so you can already see that green color is really coming through and adding a nice pop. We are gonna add that darker green color in The Night is Young, and we're just gonna pack that into the outer corner, and then we'll blend everything together. Okay. So that darker color, you can see how much more impact that had. So now we're just gonna go through and we're gonna blend that to kind of get everything seamless. Okay, so I did add a little bit more of the You Can Dance just to the inner corner here, just to kind of clean that up and give that brightness kind of back to the inner corner. Like I said, you could certainly pack on more of these colors to get more intense. You could certainly bring this up a little bit or out and wing it a little bit. I just kind of went for a subtle daytime look that still kind of gets the message across that I'm going for green eyes today. Okay, so for the next step, we're gonna line our eyes. And this is by NYX. This is their Vivid Rich Eyeliner Pencil, and this is in Emerald Empire. So we're just gonna put this along the eyes, and then I don't usually line my waterline, but for this look, to really kind of give that green impact, I am gonna put that, but definitely feel free to skip that part. Okay, so I added that liner. You can just see it adds a little bit more intensity. Again, not something that I do on a daily basis, especially on that lower lash line, but for this look, I thought it was really good. And then for our mascara, I'm gonna use green mascara, why not? This is by Eyeshadow, and this is their Lash Alert Mascara in green. And so we're gonna apply that to the lashes. I'm gonna do it slightly differently than I would normally do my mascara. I'm gonna start by just kind of lining the top and then going in and doing my normal feathering on the bottom. The reason for that is that way when you are blinking, it still looks green. It doesn't look like my normal lashes are brown, so like brown and green. It just kind of carries that color through. I tend to do that a lot with colored mascaras. That way it looks more contiguous. Okay, so a lot of you have said that you have trouble with mascara, and so I will have a future video that goes through some tips for mascara. I have one of my friends that says she always sticks her the wand in her eye when she's putting on mascara, so we'll address some of those things in concerns in a future video. So this was just kind of me throwing on the eyeshadow for the look today. Okay, so next we're gonna move on to lips. So what I'm gonna be using today is actually that Tower 28 Bronzino. I've used it before in my lips and it has a nice impact and really gives that gold color. You can also use Pat McGrath. They have their Lust lips and they have a number of shades that are in kind of a gold or an orange shade, or you can use any golden, lip gloss that you have at home. So we're gonna start out with this one. Okay, so I really like that. It gives that kind of nice gold color, but there is a third option. So you could actually go with a green color. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off and then I'll show you the green color. It's a little dramatic even for me, but if you wanna play around with it and you're going to a St. Patrick's Day party, then I think it'd be perfect. Okay, so we're gonna be using the NYX Smooth Whip green kind of liquid lipstick, and this is in Feelings. So I'll show you, this is a pretty dark color. So there it is like that. So I'm gonna put this all over my lips, and then I'm gonna show you an extra thing that you can do with this that you might wanna do either with the lips or apart from the lips. So let's see how this looks on me. Okay, I had to put this on off camera because it was actually quite hard to apply. This is not the easiest formula to work with, and there's not a lot of forgiveness in this dark green color. I think it looks best actually when I put on a pouting face than when my teeth and my lips and everything are there. But you know, it's definitely a look for just St. Patrick's Day, I think, but you might find this is your new shade of color. And certainly the darker your skin tone, the more normal this color will seem, where it looks a little dramatic on me. But the other thing we're gonna do with this that I think is kind of cute is we're gonna put a 4-leaf clover on this cheek. And you might wanna do this with the lip or without the lip, so your choice, but we're gonna draw this on. So we're just gonna make a little 4-leaf clover. Okay, so you can see there, it wasn't my best attempt at this. It actually looked better when I trialed this the first time. So I'll try not to make it worse. This is obviously easier to do in the mirror than it is here, but you can see it. I will say with this though, if you do this, definitely add your stem. It makes a lot more sense with the stem, but you also need to set this with powder because this will stay tacky for a while afterwards. So we're just gonna put a little bit of the same powder, this Lawless powder, and we're just gonna kind of pat that off right there. And then that will help set that color so it won't come off, but it still has a nice appearance to it. So again, this is much easier when you're doing this in the mirror versus into the camera, but it came out really cute the times that I've done it. So I highly recommend doing that. I think that was really cute. So if you buy the lipstick and you're like, whoa, I think that's too much for me, then you can do this, and that way you still get some benefit out of it, and it's not an expensive lipstick, so that part's good as well. So then the only thing to complete your look, certainly you can do some nails that are in a green color. I have this shirt on, so I've got Leprechaun Even that I got at Target a couple years ago. And then also if you have a Buc-ee's close to you, they have this Buc-ee's shirt, which I think is really fun. And on the back it says, start the shenanigans or bring the shenanigans. So if you don't have a St. Patrick's Day shirt, you can't find one at Target or Walmart, you can always go to your local Buc-ee's. So I hope you will use some of this to make your St. Patrick's Day look next weekend. And I highly recommend that Essence palette in the Dancing Green. That is really good, and I actually could see myself using that in a slightly more subtle capacity on a daily basis. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. If you're not subscribed, I'd love it if you hit the subscribe button down below and join and be part of the Beauty First in 10 family. And as always, please like and share this video, and happy shopping.